What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Dialed In. You know, it's brought to you by me, Cody_Dial. All right, today we're going live with one of my classic physique competitor friends, and we will wait for him to hop in. Oops. There we go. And he is right there. What? Okay, wait for him to hop in.
Good.
What's up, bro? Damn, that's how close to my head. All right, let me scoot this back.
Yeah, that's what I was. It's like all zoomed in.
Hold on. Let me unzoom this. All right, well, we're going to have to go with this. We'll make it work. All right, let's try and get these questions up so we can see it. We'll get the general idea here. But either way, all right, man, introduce yourself. Let them know who you are and everything of that sort.
Like what? My name's Josh. I compete in class. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't do anything else.
Okay, well, what he meant to say is, yes, his name is Josh. He competes in classic physique. He's coached by what? Rough Diesel. There has to be something else about you, bro. You sponsored by someone, anything like that?
I'm with Jed North. Nothing like supplement company wise though. So clothing Jed North.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure you guys already know me for the most part, but today we're pretty much going to answer all you guys' questions. We'll go over whatever. They definitely updated the Instagram live, so it looks a little funky, but I'm going to do the best we can with it. Yeah, I don't know what it looks like in your end, but this looks way different than what I'm used to, but we're just going to go with it. But along the way, you guys could ask us whatever questions you want, and we will happily answer them. But on top of that, I have a list of 25 questions I compiled, so if there's any questions you got, then we can go over those too, but, you know. But either way, we'll start it off. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them, and we'll get it going. All right. I don't know why it keeps highlighting my face like a different color, but all right, IG, I see you. That's fine, I guess. All right. Either way, we'll get straight into it. Let's see here. Do you use pre-workout? If so, how often do you use it? How many times per week? Are there days you feel like you don't need it? Do you need it in prep versus bulking? When do you use it?
Depends. I've been using it every day I work. So when I work my 12-hour shifts, I need it after work. I get a little bit like dependent on it. But then when I go into a prep, I don't use it until about 5 weeks out when I'm really tired and I need it. So that way it actually works better. So you're not like used to it working.
Yeah.
But I use it.
All right. No, I mean, I'd say the same thing. No, typically now, guys, I mean, I'm dieting. I mean, I need someone to tell me I'm looking kind of cut, bro. Yeah, my face kind of suck it in. It's getting there.
I got the move.
Like 10%. I got another 5% to go. Give me a couple more weeks. But that's regardless, you know. Pre-workout wise, I'm struggling MG wise now, especially for like low carb days. It is tough. So I typically do like a fat burner, something that has like 100 milligrams of caffeine. And then occasionally I'll toss in like a non-stim fat burner, something like that. But I don't do anything crazy. Like, you don't need to be taking dark energy or something crazy like that every single day. You know, like it's unnecessary. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but not to say some people don't. But all right, what did somebody say? For a natty guy, would you say that hitting legs twice a week is a good thing or a bad thing? You're the classic guy, bro. You got this.
Well, whether you're natty or not, it doesn't really matter. It depends on your overall recovery, how much sleep you're getting, and how much food you're really eating. So if you want to do it twice a week, I'd say the best way to do it is do a quad day and a hamstring day. That way you can target those, hit them properly. But as far as like hitting full leg twice a day or twice a week, I'm not sure how that would work out. At least for me, I do it once a week.
Sounds about right. I don't know. Do you feel that if you're enhanced versus natural, I mean, I know you can recover faster, but do you feel like when you were natural, I know you're not natural now, when you were natural, were you still doing legs 2-3 times a week, or were you always doing them once and then now you're doing them twice?
I was doing the hamstring quad thing when I was natural. I was with Chris Bumstead as a coach. He had me doing hams one day, quads one day, like split like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Nice. So I don't think when I first started taking it seriously and I was kind of doing it on my own, I was doing quads and hams twice a week and I was not recovering very well, but I was hitting them hard. So I don't know. It's individual really. It's not like, that's a hard question to answer because some people are different.
Yeah, and it depends on volume too, you know? Like, he didn't specify, you know, am I doing 16 sets on Monday and then like another 16 on Wednesday or something like that? Like, he wasn't very specific. But if you are going to train, the same muscle group twice a week, you are going to have to lower the volume. There's no other option, you know, like you're going to overtrain. It doesn't matter if you're natural, it doesn't matter if you're not natural, you know, you can't overtrain, and you can overtrain relatively easy. But all right, we'll keep going on these, and then I'll hop in these questions, whatever. What? What?
Kick him out of here.
My dad has diabetes. Can he still do bicep curls? I think so. It would probably help him get his insulin sensitivity in check. So I would probably advise him to do some bicep curls, yes. Is cardio essential to lose fat and get abs? I mean, it's not essential, but I would much rather eat like 2,000 calories or 2,500 calories and do cardio twice a day than eat 1,200 calories and do zero cardio. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know about you, Josh. Would you rather not do cardio and starve or what?
No, and like from a muscle building standpoint, it doesn't work either. You want to get those nutrients in. So the more calories you're burning, the more nutrients you can consume. So cardio, it's not essential, but like it's highly recommended. Do cardio.
Yeah.
Plus health.
No, it makes sense to me. Bro, I can just tell these questions are going to be savage, bro. I know that your fans and my fans are going to hop in from TikTok, and the questions are just going to get bad. But I'll try and answer them the best I can without, you know, laughing. But what do I do if my butt becomes bigger than my girlfriend's? Help.
I've had that problem.
Yeah. I think, you know, you could take your girlfriend to the gym with you. You know, you guys could train glutes together. You guys could do some hamstring quads together. But all jokes aside, it doesn't really matter, guys. Like, maybe you're just training harder than her. You know, I know you're trolling probably, but like, if this is a real question, you know, like maybe you just need to take her to the gym with you, teach her how to train legs, maybe have her do like a hamstring day, a quad day, a glute day, maybe like 3 different leg days. It doesn't matter. Maybe just 2 leg days. It just depends. But I mean, in case you just date a girl with a bigger butt, I don't know. Whatever you want to do, man. All right. When cutting stubborn fat, would you say it's important to stop eating a certain time of day? For example, no eating after 7 p.m. In my opinion, no. There's science, numerous studies showing that as long as you end the day off in a caloric deficit, it doesn't matter what you had. You know, it doesn't matter if you finish up at like 11 p.m. My final meal of the day, guys, when night is typically meal 6, 11:45, 11:50 p.m. and I'm getting leaner by the day. So it doesn't matter as long as you're in a deficit. However, there are times where the studies did show that if you had like a shit ton of food before bed, but you were only getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep and your body wasn't having enough time to digest it, like absorb it properly, then that could affect your progress. But that's all that I've seen. Well, what do you think, Josh? Have you eaten a bunch of meals before bed, still lost weight?
My biggest meals are before bed when I was doing my cut. You lose the most at night.
Yeah.
So, and high protein before bed, slow digesting protein is good for muscle building and overall fat loss. I don't think that, I mean, we're not gremlins. We don't need to like cut off what we eat at a certain time. We're not going to turn into a monster. We're not going to get fat. It's just if you're in a caloric deficit, it doesn't matter. I think technically a shorter eating window, like fasting, makes it harder to be in a surplus, but I still don't agree with that.
Yeah. It's one of those things too, guys. Like, I understand what the book says, and then I understand when I learned in my master's, and there's just certain things that like I do disagree with because like I've seen it with my own eyes. So it's like sometimes there's no real answer. You know, like you know what you feel, and then you know what you see from the book. So hopefully it answers your question. Would it annoy you if your gym partner that is supposed to be your best friend is secretly taking steroids and denied it to your face and called you? Okay.
Taryn, you're on.
Thank you, Taryn. Thank you for that question. That was quite a great question. We're going to ignore that question, yes, for now. I don't know what you do with that, bro. I don't know. All right. Does the gym you go to affect the amount of gains you will make? Indirectly, I would say yes, because my particular gym that I was going to, it's a Crunch in Northern California. But at my Crunch, we had 3 or 4 Olympian men's physique competitors and like 2 bikini Olympians. So it's like I was surrounded by people that I was like, damn, these are like top 20 people in the world like working out in front of me. So like it always kind of pushed me to want to train harder. Or when I went to Gold's Gym or I went to like Iron Addicts and you're just surrounded by legit top 20 athletes in the world, then yeah, I think that would, you know, unless you're talking about the machines maybe, but I don't know. What about you, Josh? Does your training intensity differ when you go to like different gyms, or like when you're training with your coach who's like a top, 10 in the world? Does your intensity change or whatever?
I don't know. I was training pretty intense either way. It doesn't matter the gym, but I do prefer like certain gyms over others. I don't like corporate gyms or like, honestly, I hate it when gyms I don't know. I just fucking hate it. So when I went to Texas, I lifted with Ricky Moten I probably got the best workout in a while there because it was warmer. I mean, he's a top pro too, so that
Yeah,
just like pushes you more. So the environment does make a difference. But I mean,
definitely.
my friend won overall in men's physique last weekend. He does Planet Fitness sometimes. So
Hey, I mean, to be honest, there's one particular guy I know who's like a pro and he trains at Planet Fitness, but like, I think that's the only. He lives in like a small ass town, which I have no idea why he wouldn't just move. But like, he trains for. He's not an Olympian. He's just a pro. But he trains at Planet Fitness. I was like, bro, if he can do it, then anybody else can do it. You know,
that's
it's
what
just
I'm
not.
saying.
I'd much rather have like hammer strength machines and like free weights and like things like that. But at the end of the day, as long as you stimulate the muscle and you're getting your food and sleeping, I don't see why you wouldn't grow. But I don't know. Okay, Daniel, I don't think we're gonna answer your question. Okay, what is the most amount of creatine you've taken in a day? If I'm prepping, like right now, I'm fake prepping for a show for fun, but like maybe next year when I'm actually taking it seriously, I'd probably do something like 5 grams pre-workout, 5 grams post-workout. If I'm doing intra shakes, I do 5 grams intra, 5 grams post. So about 10 per day. I would take more than that. Do you take creatine at all?
I don't anymore, even though I recommend people do. But I
Well,
don't.
why are you not taking it now if you're trying to build mass?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's not my protocol, not my plan, so I just don't do it.
Yeah, that would be especially if you're on cycle, man. I know you're not like blasting insulin or anything like that, but like that would be the time to take it because your body's a lot more sensitive. You can uptake more, I don't want to say vitamins and minerals, but like different amino acids. So that's why like glutamine, creatine, things, leucine, all those things when you're on cycle is the best time to take them because you're going to absorb it at a faster rate. So
Yeah.
that's what I would do if I were you. I'm not blasting anything right now. Maybe, later, but not right now. All right. Okay. Okay, what type of cardio is the best to get lean? Do you have a preference on this? I'll let you answer this one.
I like lists, but it's not like it's any better than hit. It's just, I mean, I don't want to sit there killing myself for 30 minutes. I'd rather just walk on a treadmill for an hour and a half.
Can you explain to people what that word means, though? Because a lot of people know HIIT, they probably don't know list.
Yeah, I guess low intensity, steady state cardio. So like really not like, and hit is high intensity interval cardio. I don't know. It's just, people think there's burns with hit too. There's not. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but
yeah, I prefer. If I had to say, I mean, as you guys probably already follow me now, like I'm literally on the treadmill twice a day, just walking. Like you don't need to run, you don't need to do anything super intense. Like I prefer super low intensity for really long durations of time. It's been proven to help you hold on to your lean muscle tissue as you're cutting down. So besides that, like don't get me wrong, if I was ever to hit a plateau and like my cardio just wasn't working and I didn't want to tweak my food at all, I could add in like 5 to 10 minutes of HIIT cardio at the beginning of my session and just give my body a small boost. But besides that, I'm not a huge HIIT cardio person. It's just not something that interests me. I tried it in one of my preps, bro. I shrunk in like 3 weeks because like you can't hold on to muscle. Your body's not made to hold on to muscle while you're sprinting your ass off. It just doesn't happen.
it also hurts my joints to do it.
Yes, Winstrol and sprints was probably the worst combination that you could ever have. So I would highly advise against it. Yes. White rice or brown rice? What do you prefer?
It depends on what digests for the individual. I like white rice. Brown rice doesn't. It sits in my stomach. It hurts. Like I get bloated, so I prefer white rice.
Yeah, same here. Honestly, out of all carbs available, jasmine white rice is my favorite. I literally have it like 5 times a day. Like if I could only have one, it would be that.
Yeah.
But however, if you were having like 25 carb days or really, really low carb days, you do get more brown rice on your plate versus white rice. So that would probably be the only thing I would say. But besides that, no, white rice is king. All right, let me get a couple of these questions. And then remember, guys, you can ask whatever you want. We'll get to it as long as it's not someone from our fitness group chat trolling us, but we'll try to answer most of them. But all right. Have you ever, okay. What do you think would happen if I ran a 12-week test cycle, but I don't have any money to afford the PCT?
Well, then you're going to crash your test after you come off your cycle and you're going to lose everything you got.
There we go. I couldn't answer any better. I saw that question, bro. I was like, I don't want to skip this because I really think it could help someone. So, like, if you guys are going to run any sort of anabolic, doesn't matter if it's steroid, SARM, anything that shuts down your natural testosterone, turns your nutsack off, for those who don't know what that means. Anybody who runs any sort of cycle like that, you need to run what's called a post-cycle therapy. It pretty much turns back on your nutsack. It brings your natural testosterone back on. You can't skip that because you turned off your natural testosterone when you got on cycle, and you need to take those medications to bring it back on. If you do not turn it back on, your body's going to have a really bad hormonal imbalance, and you're probably going to lose all that mass that you just built. And on top of that, there are serious health concerns that happen when you have low testosterone. Hence why a lot of people are forced to get on testosterone replacement therapy if they want to, because it's way better to have higher testosterone than it is to have super low testosterone. And that's all I really wanted to say on that, I guess. All right. I'm trying to build mass, but I do a lot of cardio because I play soccer. What do you recommend?
Eat more. You're burning more calories. Running, doing soccer is going to have to put in more calories.
Yeah. Yeah. Without even saying it like a disrespectful way, it's just like that for that particular question, it's relatively simple. You will have to eat more. There's no way around it. You know, like if you're doing something that requires that much cardio and you're trying to grow, then you will need to be in a surplus. So if you're burning off 1,000 calories per hour, you know, running on the field, you're going to have to replace that. You're going to have to start eating more, whether it's carbs, fats, whatever. You're definitely going to need carbs for energy, but all right. Thoughts on PCT versus cruising, especially in early years of cycling? See, this is where my opinion changed over time. So if you would have asked me this question like 5 years ago, I would have been like, yes, do your cycle, come off PCT, whatever, take a 6 to 8 week break, then get back on. Now, knowing what I know now and understanding how hormones work, that's one of the worst things you could do. I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling anybody medical advice, but I'd much rather have someone run their cycle, cruise on 100 milligrams, 150 milligrams of testosterone, and then go do another cycle later, whatever. I'd much rather have them do that than get on cycle, PCT, take a month off, get back on again when their body's not even recovered the first time, and just keep turning on and off their light switch of testosterone. So I'd much rather have them blasting cruising, and when they're finally done, either stay on cruise forever, TRT, or come off forever. But to just cycling on and off is so bad for your body. And there's so many studies showing what it actually does. So that's all I wanted to say. That was my rant for the day. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I used to think it was goal oriented. So if you want to go pro, you're going to need to cruise because you're going to want to be in the high normal, like free test range to hold all the muscle on when you were blasting. And then you're not trying to go pro and you're just a guy lifting in the gym and you're on cycle, come off. But I think that you're right with cruise. You're getting stable blood work done. That way you're not up and down. So it is healthier. I mean, it's as healthy. It's not healthier.
Yeah. I mean, it's not healthy no matter how you put it, but it's much better to have, your testosterone stay at 5 to 800, whatever, 6 to 800, whatever your TRT brings you, than to have you chilling at 200 because your body didn't recover from your PCT correctly. Like it's such a bad thing to have. And what comes with really low testosterone, besides like the obvious, like no sex, like all those things, besides the common ones, it can affect your resting blood glucose level. It has been shown to affect insulin sensitivity, sleep quality, mood, acne. There's so many bad things that come with low testosterone that I feel like just nobody talks about. Like there's like a whole list. So I think it's because I'm pro TRT. Like I don't see why someone shouldn't be on TRT if they have low T, but that's just because I'm pro TRT, I guess. But either way, do protein powders stop me from getting lean? No, not related, bro. Just think about like protein powder being the same as like ground up chicken in a powder form. It's like saying, or if you eat a piece of chicken, are you going to get fat? It's not related. It's calories in, calories out to a certain extent. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's like less calories than chicken would be anyway. So
yeah, if we're actually counting that, there's no fat in it. All right. Let's see what else we got here. This was I don't know if it's a question for you or me, maybe both, but would you be satisfied with being an average pro, or is your real goal to step in the Olympia stage? So would you kind of want to be like in the middle chilling just to say you're pro, or is like your real goal to be like a top 10, 15, 20 in the world long term?
No, I have to be, I don't know. I can't just be like pro and be okay with that. I don't want to be one of those guys that gets like washed out in the lineup. I don't want to be like the 15th in like every pro show that I do. I need to be up there, or I want to be up there. So right. I'm not, and I think that's even how like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, mediocre pros don't think that way either. They want to be the best too. That's why they're there. So no one's actually be like half-assed. So I'm not either. I'm sure you're.
No, I would say the same thing. I guess for me, it's a little bit different because like I don't have the best immune system. So like gear and bodybuilding is not the best combination for me particularly. Would I still want to be a pro? Absolutely. Do I think I could be an Olympian? Probably not. Could I get like fifth at a pro show? Probably. That would be my actual goal. But I think it's because I'm thinking realistic. Like my heart and passion would be competing at the Olympia level. I just don't think I would be able to. But we'll see. It's one of those things I'd always want to try once just to say I did it, you know? But for you, yeah, I can definitely see it at the Olympia, bro. You got that bodybuilding OCD. I like that shit. All right. All right. When you're bulking, what is your preference on high carbs? What macronutrient do you like to have the highest? Are you a high fat person or a high carb person in your off season?
Lately, well, it used to be just like high protein, moderate carb and fat, but then we just changed it like months ago. We upped the carbs and lowered the protein, and then I responded way better to that. So I think I like high carb better.
Nice. Yeah, I'd say for most people, high carbs usually the money. But the only thing is, like, I guess you have to watch out about your insulin sensitivity, you know? So
yeah.
do you have a blood glucose checker thing? You don't even care about that.
Well, Terrence told me to get one, especially since I have the IGF-1 over secretion. I should probably worry about that.
Yeah, you should get that. Yeah, definitely, bro. It's like $25 at Walmart. I don't know if you have Walmart by you, but Walmart, Target, Walgreens. Just walk to the counter and be, yo, can I get a blood glucose monitor? You know, you don't gotta say you're diabetic. But yeah, definitely get that. All right, hold on. If you're on TRT and jump on a cycle to you increase your test, do you increase your test? Well, yeah, because let's say TRT, let's say I don't want to give you an amount because I don't want you to do it, but let's just say you're on TRT, and it puts your natural testosterone about 600 to 800, which is typically what it does for most people. Now, when you hop on cycle, let's say a larger amount of testosterone, it could put you upwards of 2, 3, 4,000 your testosterone levels in your actual body. So yes, you are increasing your testosterone by taking that if you're taking testosterone. But if you're taking like Tren and Deca, which shut down your testosterone, I don't know. There's a lot to say about that. But
the way I read that was, if you're going on a blast, do you raise your testosterone? Like, do you up the dose? That's how I read it, but I'm not sure if that's.
Maybe that's what he meant. Sorry, if that's what you meant. My bad. Yeah, if you were blasting, you wouldn't be running 150 milligrams. You'd be at like 5 or 6. You know. I mean, at least I would. I don't know. All right. What's the difference between pro hormones or SARMs? Pro hormones, I mean, they typically come in a pill or liquid form. There are things such as like andro, epistane, whatever you call it, dimethazine, something. Either way. But yeah, your body, like, they're not a steroid until your body, you put it in your body, and then your body physically turns it into a steroid. It's hard to explain. Versus like an actual steroid, you swallow the pill, you know, it's already a D-ball. When you take a pro hormone, that's how they get away with selling legally, because they're just random ingredients. Your body swallows it, it gets to your liver turns it into an active steroid. So yeah, versus SARMs and steroids are already steroids, if that makes sense. But either way, they're both terrible for you, and don't take them. So that's all. I guess that's all I had to say. Yeah, if you guys are gonna abuse drugs, like, use the real ones that are at least probably real. But using andros and SARMs and things that are made for lab rats, I probably wouldn't put that in my body. What is that word, Josh? Thoughts on what is that? Do you see it in the comments? It's like thoughts on.
Not heard of that.
Rio whiskey. Maybe you wrote the wrong word, bro. I don't know what that is, but either way. All right. If you had to give some general advice, how would you say someone should lose body fat but gain muscle at the same time? And is it possible?
Yeah, it is. Deficit with a high protein, but don't go in too much of a deficit. You're going to gradually decrease it. So you're not going to be in like an 800 to 1,000 calorie deficit right off the bat. You're going to go down as you need to. I think a mistake a lot of people make is they'll go week to week decreasing even though they're still losing weight. I don't think you really want to lose more than 1 to 2 pounds per week anyway. But a lot of people, like, let's say they're in a 200 calorie deficit. They lost like 1 to 2 pounds that week. They did that for 2 weeks. They're still losing weight, but then they go into a 400 calorie deficit anyways, just because they think they need to change it. You don't have to change it week to week, like in moderation. So I think as long as you keep the deficit as small as possible, then you're going to build muscle in it.
Yeah, no, I would say the same thing. I'd say the hardest thing to explain to people, I mean, kind of answering the question and kind of branching off a little bit, is that the biggest mistake people make is that if they're losing weight, why would you want to continue dropping your food? So let's say for you were dropping a pound per week for the last like 6 weeks. Why would you be unhappy with that? Why would you want to go even faster if you're having awesome progress, or if you're losing 2 pounds per week? Because that's, in some instances, if I see people dropping too much, I up their food, and sometimes they drop even more. It doesn't happen all the time, but like there is times where like you are under eating. So I'm not a huge fan of being in as big of a deficit as possible. I'd much rather feed you the highest amount I can and have you lose weight slowly. So I guess that's the best way I would say it. But either way, like you said, high protein. Always high protein is my favorite. I've researched HMB. I understand how it works. I've never tried it because it didn't seem as useful to me. Have you ever tried HMB? It's like that natural, I forgot what it stands for, but it's like a natural herb or something like that. They try to say it's like a creatine brother or some shit like that.
No, actually, I haven't. I mean, I've heard of it, but I haven't looked into it at all. I have no knowledge on that one.
Yeah, it didn't seem very impressive to me, so I didn't want to spend like $30 on it. So yeah, I've never tried it, man. I've heard some positive things, but I can't vouch for it. All right, thoughts on oxymethylone? Isn't that Anadrol?
I don't know all of the scientific terms for them. I think so.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but either way, I don't know. Man, you don't even take anabolics. Why are you asking?
Shut up.
All right, what up, Little Flames? Was good. All right, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them. Until then, I'm gonna keep going through these. Okay. Okay, how would you advise someone to train for strength versus how to train for hypertrophy? What would be your best advice to them? And can you do both?
I don't know how to like simplify it. You can do both. That was another thing I was going to bring up with the training the same body part 2 times a week. You can do strength days and hypertrophy days like that. I don't know. I don't know how to like simplify it. If you're
I think maybe they're referring to maybe like rep range. Maybe that's what they meant.
Yeah. So when I train for strength like legs, let's say that as an example, I'll do squats 5 sets of 5. But if I'm doing like a more hypertrophy thing, it's going to be like 3 sets of 8, 10 kind of thing. So lower rep range with heavier weight is better for strength, in my opinion. I mean, it's also individual, but that's just, I mean, one of my friends, he's a strongman, or he does competing strongman and powerlifting. He does the low rep range.
Yeah.
So he'll like build up to like 3 rep max days and stuff. But you never want to max in the gym. That's just a good way to hurt yourself.
So you're in your off season now. You're pretty deep in your off season. Do you do relatively lifting heavy? Not like 3 to 5 rep heavy, not like heavy 8 to 10, not hypertrophy range. Do you do any heavy like 3 to 5s or no?
I do the 5 sets of 5 on squat. I think that's about it. Sometimes when I'm like, depends on the day, because I always do a failure set on any compound lift that I'm doing. I'll do 1 or 2 failure sets. It depends on how like heavy I'm going, how many reps I get. Because one week I'll be like 120s on the incline dumbbell press. I'll be able to get 2 sets of 10 with that, but one week I'll not be feeling it as well. I'll get like a set of 8 and then a set of 4, something like that. So it really depends.
Changes so often.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I mean, he gave a really good explanation of it too. If I had to simplify it even more, I mean, honestly, guys, like sometimes I don't like training for both. It just depends what you're trying to do. But sometimes I like training for either strength or hypertrophy. For strength, it's typically training like the 3 to 6 rep, 3 to 5 rep range. Hypertrophy could be 8 to 12, sometimes upwards of 12 to 15. So if I'm trying to be big, I typically train heavy 8 to 12 or heavy 12 to 15. If I'm trying to be strong as possible, I train heavy 3 to 5, and that's just my general style. Would you sacrifice your animal to become a top 3 Olympian?
No.
I like my birds a lot. I don't know if I'd kill my birds to be an Olympian. I mean,
got my dog right next to me right now. There's no way in hell I would do that.
Your dogs look like for real, bro. All right. What are your thoughts on Big Ramy's invite, getting a special invite?
It's like, I don't know. I talked to Terrence about that the other day. Because I was telling him.
Was he mad?
Well, no, he's for it. I was against it, but he kind of persuaded me. So they used to give special invites all the time to people.
Yeah.
It's just a part of the sport, and they're kind of allowed to do that if they want to. He was a top-placing Olympian, or he's always been a top-placing Olympian. He was a runner-up one year. It sells more tickets, so it's good for them, especially this year when they kind of need it. Like a lot of IFBB shows lost money promoting their shows just to get people to qualify for the Olympics. They couldn't sell tickets because they're
definitely.
So I can see it in that sense, but at the same time, I feel like it's supposed to be a prestigious event. You need to qualify to do it. I know he tried to. I know he had like his setbacks. Same thing with Cedric McMillan last year. He got his because he was deployed, right?
Military. Yeah, he was in the military.
So he couldn't compete to qualify, but they wanted him there. So I mean, that's kind of where the politics come into play. If you're a big name, then you can get that special treatment. Sean Ray did the same thing.
I was reading through the comments, and you could tell, bro, half the bodybuilders were heated, and then the other half were like 4. There was no in between, you know. But no, I think he does deserve it just because he has been a top 2 before, and at the same time, what's it called? He was trying to compete at that show. So it's like
Yeah,
he got tested before. Yeah, he got tested before flying out, and they wouldn't let him. So it's not like he's like, I'm not trying to go. You know, like he didn't have a choice. So I don't know.
Against Terrence though, he hit at the Arnold and he didn't place well enough to be considered qualified.
Damn.
So like he did compete this year, but I don't know. Like he was prepping that whole time, and it's just a bad situation. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Opinion doesn't.
we're just gonna throw 2020 away in all sports, bro. All sports was a shit show for 2020. All right, thoughts on power building? Oh wait, on power builders. Do you like power building? It seems like you do. It kind of seems like you were just talking about like that's in your training style now. Half powerlifting, half hypertrophy, mixing them together.
Just for legs. I can't do like much else, like because I have my back injury stuff. I can't do full deadlifts, and I don't do flat bench at all. So,
nice. Smart man, bro. Smart man.
Huh?
I said smart man, bro.
Yeah.
Flat bench has to be the most useless exercise like
It
we
is.
can do. One of the top three.
Incline dumbbell.
All right, that's a good question because I almost feel like I would answer yes to this, but I mean I could do that on a normal day. But would you move into a one-room studio to become pro?
Yes.
Yeah, I might do that. I might go do that soon anyway. You know, I'm not pro, so I mean, but it's one of those things, bro. As long as you have like enough room to live and you can still do whatever you're gonna do. Like, oh, I had a question for you. This is kind of branching off. Do you see yourself as like a fitness influencer? Like, is that something you'd want to like pursue and like have like an actual active social media? You know, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. Or is it just like, are you more low key and you just want to like compete, just like shine on stage?
No, I want to. I suck. Like I mean, I've told you that before. I just have really bad anxiety. I have trouble recording myself.
Yeah.
I've posted some stuff. I mean, I'm sure you can tell. You've like seen all my TikToks. I don't talk at all. I don't say a word, so I can't talk to people. But that is something that I do want to do, and I just kind of suck at. Like the only reason I have the followers I have is because of Chris Bumstead and Terrence Ruffin like shouting me out. That's the only reason I have the amount of followers that I do have. So I don't see myself as an influencer, but I'd like to be. I'd like to grow. I just need to show more personality, so I need to like get away from that.
No, I agree, bro. I mean, I'm not that great. I'm not the best at talking. I mean, I think I'm average, but if you look at my first like 100 TikTok videos and you look at my most recent 100, like it's like night and day different. So it's like those things you have to practice with. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it'd be dope to be like a fitness influencer. At the same time, do you always want everybody knowing your business 24/7? You know, I'm not trying to be like a Charlie, but like I feel like it'd be dope. You know, to a certain extent. Maybe just don't be like a Brandon Harding or anything. But
no.
All right, why is flat bench useless? From my point of view, everybody does it. Most people do it wrong, and they end up incorporating too much front delt. They don't use enough rear delt. Then they start using their traps, and then they don't feel it in their chest. And like their main goal is just to push up as fast as they can and just get the weight up. And like, yeah, bro, I hit 2 plates. And you saw the form, and they brought it down, slammed it on their chest, and then brought it up and racked it. Like that's not how you build a chest. But whatever you got to say about it, that's pretty much why.
Yeah, I'll reword it. I wouldn't say it's useless. I would say it's overrated.
There we go.
But
yeah, I agree.
Just like personally, I don't feel it. I don't feel much chest at all when I do it. It hurts my shoulders. I mean, I have really long arms. I'm tall, so I don't like it. But then I'll do like incline dumbbell. I can feel the movement. You get more range of motion because there's no bar hitting your chest. You can go down lower. I just feel it better that way. Even incline Smith machine. I just feel it better that way.
Yeah, I agree. Dumbbells and hammer strength machines, I could grow a chest 10 times faster than I ever will with flat barbell or incline barbell. I'm not against it. I just don't like barbell movements as a whole, honestly. The Smith machine incline isn't very bad, though. I've tried that. I do really like that. But
it's really good for the end.
Yeah. All right. Can you use resistance bands to gain? Yeah, guys. I mean, I'm still 210, and I only had 2 50-pound dumbbells adjustable, a bench, a treadmill, and like 20 bands, and I'm still 210, you know. But could it have been better? Yeah, but you know, you could definitely maintain. I was not able to grow much, but I definitely maintained. So you can definitely work out bands 100%. All right. Do you think people who went pro this year should be discredited for their accomplishments, or do you think they deserved it compared to other years?
Well, I mean, I don't think that a lot of them would have gone pro other years, but I don't think they should be discredited. Who showed up, showed up. And that's just what it is.
Yeah. I would word it exactly like that. Like, you can't discredit them. However, I try to advise my clients, any of them who wanted to turn pro this year, not to. Not because it would have been an easy win. I don't mean it like that. It's just like, I feel like you want to get the recognition when you turn pro, because when you turn pro at a show, they blast your face everywhere on social media. They'll be like, you know, Josh turned pro today at nationals, took first place. Here's his interview, stuff like that. I feel like people who turned pro this year didn't get the recognition they deserved. So I'm not saying it was a waste, but I would rather do it at a bigger show and get the real clout and go against awesome competition. Because people are always going to doubt them now this year. When you tell people you turn pro now, they're like, well, who was at the show? Oh, that's who was at the show? Oh, yeah, that's why you turn pro, you know? But I don't know. All right. So what is your favorite chest exercise that you don't like flat bench? For me, hammer incline strength machine and incline dumbbell bench press. What about you?
I'll just say incline dumbbell bench press. I like the hammer strength, but I don't have one at my gym. But I do like that one a lot. Every time I go to the gym that has one, I use it.
Joseph, you're sick of this, bro. You need to do this on TikTok. I agree, bro. See, the thing is, man, like, you don't have a bad personality. I mean, if you're shy to talk, then you'll get over it. But, like, you have a dope-ass physique. So that alone is already your credibility, you know? You're going to have to talk and, like, prove people wrong, you know, verbally also. But, like, you're already halfway there by looking sick, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I got
just my opinion.
I got the, like, 2,000 followers on there from posting, like, not even trying. So I guess if I talked, maybe I'd get a little bit better.
That's probably true. All right. If you could pick one back movement, what would it be? Let's pick one lat, one middle back, just to be fair.
Okay. Overhand, bent over barbell rows, and supinated lat pull down.
There we go. Yeah, I would go with wide grip lat pull down, assuming you could do it right. If you can't do it right, then underhand grip, close grip lat pull downs. However, I really like the supinated dumbbell row. Have you ever tried that? Putting your stomach on the incline bench and then doing rows through that. That is one of the best like contractions in your middle back you'll ever have. And you can go super heavy. It's more so for people who have lower back issues and you can't do the regular barbell row like you said.
Yeah, for some reason, that one just doesn't work for me. I can't feel it. I used to do it. I just can't feel it. So I just do I like the barbell rows now. I mean, I know that like with my back issues, I probably could look for different like options, but that one I just can't feel it. I don't know what it is.
All right. Well, that's why you should never do it.
Yep.
All right. Do you think machines are superior in bodybuilding than free weights?
Both. You need both.
Yeah, I was gonna say both. Now, if you compared like, no, I'd say both. No, I'm gonna go both.
One's better than
All
the
right. Exactly. Okay. Would you rather never be able to train your lower body ever again or your upper body ever again?
I get a lot further if I could never train my lower body only because I don't really need to anyway.
You can go to men's physique, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's right. You can't really. There's no such thing as a division where you don't have to train your upper body, but you can wear some board shorts. So I guess I'd train lower again, even though that's my favorite thing to do.
This might be a funny question, but if you ever felt that you weren't doing well in classic, like I'm talking about going to nationals and just getting smoked for whatever reason, like 2 years in a row, would you ever drop down and go to men's physique and just try it? Or would you rather bump up and go to like, let's say, what not heavyweight, but like featherweight or something, whatever it's called, light heavyweight in bodybuilding for nationals?
Oh no,
so men's physique? Yeah, so men's physique or bodybuilding?
Light heavyweight will be a cut for me, so I'd get smaller.
Oh, well, I just chose random division. Something in bodybuilding, I'm trying to say.
I don't know. I don't think, well, I think maybe I do like, if I was doing like a qualifying show, I do classic and men's physique there, just like do two. And then I just see where I placed, but I don't think I would enjoy it as much if I was just, I like competing as classic. I like the poses and the routine and everything. So I don't think I would enjoy it as much.
Yeah, I'd go with that too. I really love classic guys. I just couldn't do classic. I have no rhythm. It would never happen. But all right. That's like saying Arnold should be discredited for the 19. Yeah, that is pretty true. All right, hold on. I got a couple questions there I want to get to because people like personally ask me these. All right. Okay. Is there a difference in training for someone who's like prepping to do a bodybuilding show and someone who just wants to like be aesthetic and like have a really nice beach body on the beach? Would you say that the training is different?
Depends. The closer you get up to a show, the less you're going to recover. So you're not going to be able to do as high a volume. So, I mean, like in that sense, it's different. But, yeah, I mean.
But, yeah, if we're talking about movements or anything, I wouldn't see very much difference. Like, you could still – like, there's a lot of people in the world, guys, that look absolutely jacked. And, like, you'll see them at the gym. You'll ask them, do they compete? They're like, no, I don't want to. You know, like, there's tons of people who train like a bodybuilder. They just don't do all the, like, dieting and whatnot. Josh, smile if you're kidnapped right now.
Yeah, my
Oh
mom.
shit, bro. Oh shit. All right. Do you believe that we can eat anything we want and be in a caloric deficit and lose weight, but still look our best?
No, you
So
need quality.
pretty much flexible dieting, but
You
to
need
the max.
quality. I don't believe in if it fits your macros. I still think you need like quality foods. You can't just eat. I mean, you can lose weight, but you're not going to look your best.
Yeah,
I
that's
did.
probably that's probably the number one thing people argue with me on TikTok. Maybe not so much now because my fans will attack them, but like before that,
Mhm.
it's like they'd be like, "You can eat whatever you want." I was like, "You can, and you will lose weight, but you will never look your best." And what is their exact answer, Josh? What is their response when I talk about this? Who do they bring up?
Greg Doucette.
Greg Doucette. Well, he's a pro. He coaches pros. He's the smartest guy on the internet. He flexible diets. It's like, okay, look how many coaches he pissed off.
Hey, he follows me. I wonder if he'll join this live for a minute.
Hey, what's up, Greg? I swear I'm a fan, 3 years ago. All right.
Before,
Would you rather take Anadrol or D-ball? And at
I,
what point in prep would you take it? The end or the beginning?
I've never done either, but I do know that Anadrol, from what you've told me, is really appetite suppressive. So if you wanted to use that one, you'd want to use it towards the end of a prep.
Yep.
Dianabol, you're going to retain a shitload of water.
Yep.
So you're going to get, like, what would you call that? Instant gratification and weight gain. So that would be like at the beginning. You wouldn't want to touch that one during a prep at all because you're just going to retain water.
Yeah. It just depends what you're trying to do. Like, as you said, so Anadrol is amazing for fullness. It will give you this super bubbly, full, like, it's not glycogen either. It's like you're straight up full of like blood and water. Like, it raises your red blood cell count a lot. But for both of them, you have to worry about blood pressure. You have to worry about, toxicity. So crossing those out because they both have it. The Anadrol, I'd say, is more fullness. They both have amazing strength. D-ball can give you kind of like a euphoric feeling in some. It can make you feel very happy. Anadrol can make you a little bit more aggressive. But it really depends. I'd say in the bodybuilding world, Anadrol is becoming a lot more popular. And then D-ball's more so for like the more old school people who like the test deca D-ball stack. So I'd say nowadays it's more like test primo Anadrol is very common nowadays with the new science, but that's my opinion.
Primo's pricey though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very pricey. It's up there with Halo testing, real quality NFR, and real quality HGH. It's up there. 150 $200 a bottle. It adds up. All right, what's up, bro? What's going on? Who is the GOAT coach?
Cody.
Sometimes, bro. Sometimes. I'm just trying to be the best coach in the world. That's all I'm trying to do. All right. Have you ever experienced overtraining? If so, how did you know you were overtraining, and how did you fix it?
You can just tell if you're not recovering, you feel like shit all the time, you're sluggish, you're tired, you're sore. That's like your body telling you, I mean, and this is something that makes me so mad when people schedule deloads. You cannot schedule a deload. If you need one, so that's when you would know. So then you'll take a deload and you'll come back feeling better.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's similar to what you said. Deload wise, there's no reason to ever plan a deload. However, if there's like, it's kind of like planning a cheat meal and you're like 4 weeks off from a show. Like, how are you going to know how you're going to look in 2 weeks? Like, how are you going to know how you're going to feel in 2 weeks? So deloading is kind of one of those things I wouldn't plan for. However, when it comes to overtraining, I've definitely felt it before. It was one of my shows because I did 4 shows in a row, one season, 5 shows in a row, and I just felt it, man. I woke up tired. I went to sleep tired. I was tired when I was training, and I was like, I just need to take a break. So I did 3 back-to-back really, really high carb refeed days and just slept all 3 of those days. I bounced back. My body was good. I don't know if that fixed the overtraining, but it did fix how depleted I was. But even when I was bulking, I was training 6-7 days a week, maybe taking 1 day off every 14 days or something. And like, bro, I just wasn't growing. I was like, what is it? I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think about how our body needs to grow in the off season. So I tell people off season train 5 times per week and then cutting 6 times per week. But that's just my opinion of what I've seen to try and avoid, overtraining. Because once you hit overtraining, bro, it's not something you could just fix. It's not that simple. All right. Okay, we're not gonna answer that, but all right. I'm not a Greg fanboy, but I've literally heard him say that there is garbage out there if you want to look your best.
I read that. I didn't really understand how it was worded. Like, there's garbage you need out there and still look your best. I don't know about that.
Maybe he's saying that you need. I don't know. Either way, you will never meet someone top tier bodybuilder. like placing top 5 at a show or whatever, who like, unless they messed up on their diet, that doesn't count and they gave up. But I'm talking about someone who like wants to win. You'll never see them having junk food. You'll never see them saying like, I could have tilapia and asparagus, but I could also have this cheeseburger and fries. Like they don't, it doesn't even cross their mind, you know? And who's the big guy who just turned pro and then went to the
Nick Walker.
Pro? Nick Walker. So, bro, he hasn't had a cheat meal in 20 weeks. He's like, my last cheat meal was like 19, 20 weeks ago. So, like, that dude was suffering for 5 months, you know? All right. You have 2 choices to be the best bodybuilder coach that there is, or a good coach, but only online coach, or be that medium that lives in your house and goes. Man, Taryn, that was such a specific question. Like, my brain can't even process what you're asking. But my real goal, guys, my actual goal, I originally wanted to be like a strength and conditioning coach for like a D1 or professional team. However, I'm starting to like, I always like bodybuilding, but I really want to be a part of the bodybuilding community. So like, I want to coach people to get on stage, and like, I love my job now. So like, I help fat people get skinny. I help skinny people put on muscle, and then I help people get on stage. So like, I'm totally satisfied with that. And yeah, but I still want to be able to go to people's shows. So I'm just going to take Saturdays off, and like, I'll have no check-in Saturdays, which I don't have anyway. And like, I'll use that time to travel or something, but I don't know. What do you want to do in the bodybuilding world, job besides competing? Like, do you want to be like a full-time online coach then, or half coach, half competitor? Do you want to have a regular 9 to 5 compete after? What do you want to do specifically?
Yeah, I like to coach people, but like, I don't take a whole lot of clients right now anyway. I like to keep it like, I don't know. I don't see how many clients like have all their attention. Clients, I have trouble doing that. So I used to only take 5. Now I upped it to 7. So I'm taking 7 total. But I'd like to do that too. I just need to be better at time management so that I can. Plus, I let all my clients pick their check-in days. So
that's why, man. I have my Sunday set aside. Maybe I'll move it to Monday because some people can't make Sundays. But like, you have to pick one day, bro. Actually, I know one coach out here. He has it. What is it? It's like Monday or Thursday. So like, those are the 2 check-in days. So like, they only have 2 choices. So like, you have all the rest of those days to do whatever you're gonna do to expand your business or travel or compete or whatever. But yeah, you can't let them choose, man. That's gonna stress you out.
One of my clients,
you don't know who's checking.
He's a radiologist. He checks in whenever. So I'll get one Thursday. Maybe I'll get one Sunday. I have a client who lives in China, so he says it's Friday, but I get it like Saturday, like at 1 a.m. Or it's like, because the different. It's just weird like that. So I mean, I feel like I'm doing a check-in almost every day.
I mean, that's what it takes, man. What about like underground athletes, Cuts, Ventura? All these people have 400 clients, bro. If you want to make good money and live that life, you gotta figure it out. But you also had an in-person job, right? So like, that's what was taken away, you know.
Yeah, I did does that.
All right. Who do you see winning at the Open Olympia, Open Bodybuilding? Do you see Phil? Or do you see like Brandon or someone sneaking in?
I had Flex. I did when he was doing it. Now he's not doing it. So I want to say, which you and I are going to disagree.
You said Brandon? Sorry, I cut out for a second.
I have Brandon.
The only reason I want Phil to win just because I feel it'd be a dope comeback story, but he hasn't posted that much. Like, I know at the same time, like, Phil's the type of person that never post anyway and just pop out like a week out or something. But when it's like this, I feel like it needs to be more exciting. I feel like he needs to show us what he looks like. Versus Brandon, bro, he's going to put it in your face. Brandon, Hunter Labrada. Who am I missing? I'm trying to think who posts it like daily. You know, like not all of them post daily, but Dexter sometimes.
William Bonak's been doing good about it. I wouldn't say Hottie's posting, but there's an account posting him, like one of his friends, and that's pretty regular too. So they're posting a lot. So he's a lot too.
Yeah, Hottie's gonna be game, bro. Hottie's gonna look good. Hottie comes in shredded. He's coached by Hani, and you know we know what Hani does, so he's gonna come in tight.
I saw it. Flex, Brandon, Hottie, and then oh,
damn, bro.
Whatever. I saw it. Flex winning, Brandon getting second, Hottie getting third, and Phil getting fourth, and no one's going to agree with me there. Now that Flex isn't there, I still have that same lineup. And I know that people are going to say, like, what about William? But I don't know. I just don't like his shape.
Yeah. The only thing I like about him, bro, is he packs on so much muscle in a small package. So, like, he's just like a meatball, bro. That, like, it's very hard to compete with his muscle mature, like his density. Like, no one can compete with that because they're not 5'4" like him. So I guess that's the thing, you know.
He's maxed out his frame. I don't think he can improve much more. Like, he's where he is.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get any better.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you guys believe in body types such as ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph?
I mean, yeah, kind of, I guess. I feel like there's people that have a harder time putting on weight, and there's people that have a harder time losing weight.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the simplest I put it too, because like I used to be really hit like when I first started training, maybe like, or when I was getting really into like the science portion, maybe like 2014, 2015, when I really started learning more, and I was like, oh bro, that guy's an ecto, he's a meso, he's whatever. But like it doesn't really work that way all the time. Like I believe that there's people who do struggle to put on weight, you know, who have a very fast metabolism, but they're just naturally, you know, skinny. Then there's people who naturally have a film of water, or they have more body fat on their body just naturally. But to say that like that guy's 100% a meso or he's 100% ecto, like it's not always true, you know? Like you could be a mixture of both. I thought I was an ecto because I was never growing, but the second I ate 3,500 calories, I put on 40 pounds in like 2 years. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm not an ecto, maybe I'm a meso.
yeah,
So
there's
like,
out.
yeah, I feel like it's hard to tell what you are, you know? All right. How many scoops of protein powder do you use on a normal day, whether it's prep or bulking? Or do you prefer like whole food?
I prefer whole food, but it's hard for me to, I mean, with like having acromegaly, I kind of have to eat more than most people do anyways. I process it faster, so I have to have protein. I take 1 scoop in the morning with my breakfast, and then 2 scoops post-workout with my cream of wheat, and then 2 scoops before bed. So
Okay.
was that 5?
About 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no problem using protein powder, guys. I use 4 per day. I'm doing 300 protein. So 2 of my shakes are 50-50. So I get 100 grams of protein via shakes. But I feel that if I had the time and the ability to do it, I would probably do, you know, all real food. But at the same time, there's no dangers of using protein powder, you know? What's up, Jalen? We got Jalen in the house, bro. For those who don't know, you know, he went live with me, you know, last week, the week before. It was not too long ago. But either way, shout out to Jalen. All right. Advice for someone who has a very active job and okay, that question is worded weird, but okay. Advice on someone who has a very active job is trying to figure out their time management.
I mean, that's hard. I guess it depends. I've had jobs where I'd work like 16 hours a day, and I used to deliver beer. So I would drive a semi truck. I'd have to go one town over. It was about 2 hours away. And I was always eat. So it was hard to get meals in. I was literally heating up my food on the dash of the truck with the defrost on. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So I was doing that for a while, and then I just go to the gym straight after work and then go to sleep. So it's really hard. Like it depends if you can eat during work and stuff like that, or like what you do. But if you want to do it, you'll make it happen.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of the things, guys. Like I have clients who work in Amazon. One of my clients was a truck driver, and then I have another one who has some super like oil rig job or something like that. So like they legit only have 2 or 3 minutes. So I have them do protein shakes, put in the instant oatmeal, so they got 50 protein, 50 carbs, and like you have no excuse not to have a shake in under 30 seconds. You're like you could chug it, go back to work. You're good for 2 hours. Do it again. Do it again. So you can do it. It's really just how bad you want it. Like that particular instance is how bad you want it. You know.
That's a good example too. A friend who he placed 4th in USA, as I told you about him, and he just placed overall recently. He work in the oil field. He gets sent out of town like 15, 16 hours away from home, stay in a hotel, stuff like that for like months at a time. And he literally got sent away for a month and a half right before he took that overall last year before his USAs. So he came back right in time for peak, and he still took overall. He made it happen. So, I mean, you can make it happen.
It's true, bro. I mean, there's times, guys, like, I mean, I was on my final semester or final quarter of college. I was getting 6 meals a day in, 45 minutes of cardio twice a day, finals, like graduation gown, picking out pictures. I was doing all this shit. And I was like, bro, I legit sleep like 4 hours a day. Like, but I still got it done. I still won the overall. So it's like, it's one of those things, bro. You literally have to like kind of cut out your excess life to do it. But it just depends how bad you want it, you know?
Priorities.
Yep. Do you like casein protein at all? And then best ISO protein. We'll answer the best ISO after. Do you use casein?
I use casein before bed, just so I'm not hungry in the middle of the night, because it's slower digesting. It's more satiating. Is that the right way? I think it is.
Yeah. No, it's not bad. I don't really, I understand the way casein works. I personally don't use it, but I do think it has its purpose, yes. What is your favorite isolate protein? Do you have a favorite brand you use?
Oh, I have like 50 of them up here. I don't have a favorite. I like Dymatized a lot.
Yeah, I have ISO 100, whatever. It's cool. It's not bad at all.
I've only had one Evogen. I really liked it, but we don't have anywhere that like distributes it here, so I don't like ordering stuff. I'm like an instant gratification person. I hate ordering stuff. I hate waiting for it.
So what you're trying to say is you're not using my 15% off code my bio to get Evo Gym.
Oh, I'm not. I will.
God damn it. All right.
Use mine for Jed North. I'll use yours for Evo Gym.
Bro, I literally, if you go to my house, man, I have like 400 pieces of clothing with my brand, with its shorts, I don't know, man thongs, hats. I got it all, man. So I definitely, I'll try something from Jed North. I'll check it out. All right. Since I have to go to school every couple days, how should I replace my meals in that time period? Because my teachers got mad when I whipped out chicken and rice. Okay, you got to tell your teacher you're trying to be like Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler. You're trying to be a professional bodybuilder, and they got to understand. But don't do that. You might not want to do that. But you may have to do a shake, man. Like you can,
professor.
Yeah, I probably means high school.
Okay, then it might matter. If you're paying for it, then fuck them.
Yeah. College, you can walk out of the class whenever you want, come back in. High school, you might not be able to. But
yeah.
Hypothetically, if you were, like if your teacher turns around, I think you could pound a shake in 30 seconds, though. All jokes aside, I really think you could if you had to. If you had to, I think you can get away with it. And thank you, Nikki. My bad. I didn't say thank you earlier. CEO of Legs. All right. You go to school and don't have a break in the concentration. Jesus Christ. I need to start reading things before saying them out loud. All right. No, because Rhonda, we don't have lunch. We only have pasta. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Man thongs, have to look into those. Telling you guys, Team Dyel'd's coming out with everything. Tell me why, Josh. Tell me why the two weird things that I get every day in my DMs. Number one is, Cody, are you going to make an OnlyFans? A Team Dyel'd OnlyFans. That's the number one. And then number two is, yo, you got thongs. So it's like, for women? No, for men. I'm like, what?
Does Team Dyel'd OnlyFans include all your athletes?
Oh, man. Maybe. I'll put that in the team chat and ask them to vote.
Yeah, I get DMs too, but I've never gotten asked if I sell thongs.
It's because you don't have any merch yet,
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. When progressive loading, should you keep up in the reps 12 to 15, or should you go in 6 to 8? So it's tough, guys, because progressive overload doesn't only have to do with the amount of reps you're doing. It could be the tempo. It could be your rest times. It could be the variation, like the form you're doing. It's not always about like going from 8 reps to 12 reps. Like it's not always about that. But I don't know. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, that's the thing that a lot of people don't get about progressive overload. It's not just if you're upping the weight or upping the amount of reps or whatever. It's just upping intensity in general.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Advice on how to reduce or get rid of gyno. And I asked him this was anabolic induced. This wasn't born with it.
So it was anabolic induced?
Wasn't anabolic induced.
Oh, it was. Okay. I don't know. If I knew, I would probably try to get rid of mine. Really, I mean, if it gets to a certain point, surgery is all you can do.
Yeah. There's a surgery-wise, because I got mine cut out, guys. It's like $4,000. They cut the glands out. You can never get gyno again. But I had it from a young age anyway. Like, it wasn't anabolic related. Yeah. I mean, it can't been, but I had it before. But yeah, there are instances where you can sometimes get away with using some letrozole. I mean, I'm not telling you to do that because there are some serious side effects that go along with it. But yeah, bro, it makes you feel like you're dying. So
yeah, now I guess I can. So, but I was gonna, but I didn't want to like give anybody any ideas. When me and Aaron did the Arnold prep, that actually shrank it out quite a bit.
Oh, you used letro the last like week or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very common, but you can, how do I say it? Sometimes peak week, you have to do it every other day. If you do it every day, some bad things can happen. I don't want to say them out loud, but bad things can happen, and they're hard to fix. And once they happen, it's too late because you're already a couple days out. So I'm not a big letro fan. Like, if I'm going to use something, I probably use a Remidex because at least it's, what would the word be? It's, what's going to happen. Letro, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and mine's not PED induced either, but yeah. I don't know, like, if it's different. I don't think it is.
No, because it's still estrogen related.
Mm-hmm.
If you were like fat at a younger age. All right. What are your thoughts on newbie gains? Do you think it applies to everybody? Is there a way to take advantage of it? Anything like that? So just newbie gains in general.
It applies to everybody, just in a different way. Some people are going to get more out of it than others. But then people are like, they're going to gain 8 to 10 pounds in a month, and they're going to think it's all muscle when it's mostly glycogen, fat, water, stuff like that. It's not all muscle. So you're going to get gains, you're going to put on weight fast, but it's not all muscle. But it doesn't vary. I mean, it varies person to person how much you're going to get. It doesn't matter. Like everyone's going to get it in their own way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, even just the first, like, your first year or two of training, guys, maybe even 3 years, whatever. The first 2 years for sure, though, like, your body's going to put on mass at a pretty relatively fast rate, assuming that your diet, training, sleep, all that's on point. Even in some cases, even if it's all shit, like, you're still going to put on mass because it's so new to you. You know, you're having a new stimulus to your body, you know, hypertrophy, whatever. But I still think that, how do I say it? Like, I guess anybody's going to have their newbie gains regardless of what I'm trying to say, you know? Like, it would make sense to have a coach or have someone help you, a personal trainer, help you try and maximize it, but you're probably still going to grow regardless. But that's all I'm
Go to the gym their first few times and have perfect rep, perfect, like, range of motion, all that. No one's going to do that. And you kind of have to go in there and just kind of learn how the machines work anyways, and you're going to grow regardless. So
yeah.
The only way to, like, really maximize it is if you went in there doing everything and how to do everything perfectly and you haven't done it yet. The only way to maximize it, which will never happen.
Okay, thoughts on doing strength or your compound, but doing hypertrophy reps on everything else. I used to do that. I mean, that's almost power building. Like, that's what I would consider power building. You're doing, like, your compounds in, let's say, 3 to 5, 5x5s, and then you get to, like, your bicep curls or, you know, your isolation, then you go upwards of 12 to 15. So, like, that's still technically power building in my opinion. I no longer do that. I think that's similar to what you're doing, Josh, right?
Yeah, that's what I do for legs at least. So I'm going to go heavy on squats, and then when I do leg extensions, I don't even count reps. I just do as many reps as possible every single set. So
yeah, no, it makes sense to me. Thoughts on MK677 versus growth hormone? Did you ever use either of them, or you never tried either?
I don't need to. I haven't.
Actually, you were born with the IGF whatever deficiency. Sorry, not deficiency. You have too much.
Yes.
Okay. The biggest difference, guys. Growth hormone. I don't want to go too in depth in it, but I just want to say that, like, the MK677 tries to mimic it. It can send impulses through our body. In terms of the growth hormone, I'm missing the word. There's one really important word that I'm drawing a blank on, so I'm sorry, I kind of ruined the explanation. There's one particular word that I can't remember what it's called right now, but it does send pulses through our body to release more growth hormone. So it does work. However, MK677 has the same side effects that GH does, except it kicks in faster. So you do have to worry about your fasting blood glucose levels. I've tried MK677 a long time ago. I just got more hungry. That's all that happened. Nothing else happened except I was starving. And then I checked my blood glucose levels, bro, and, like, they're nowhere like 85, low 80s, and it was going 90, 95, 100. I was like, bro, what benefit do I have for this? Like, if you're pounding carbs, you're already going to raise your blood glucose levels. You take MK677, that's going to already boost your blood glucose levels. So now you typically bulk with MK677 or growth hormone. So both of those together, man, you can turn yourself pre-diabetic. You can turn yourself diabetic if you abuse carbs at a long enough rate. Now, growth hormone, that shit takes upwards of 3, 4, 5, 6 months to even get the full benefit. So unless you have enough money to run growth hormone at 4, 6, 7, you know, whatever months, then I wouldn't even touch it. And both of them are faked very, very often.
Yeah.
And that's all I really had to say about that. But they're not magic. I don't know why people use them. They're not that special.
The only thing to add is MK is a secretagogue, so it's going to help you produce what you're already. Is that the word you were looking for?
Yeah, I was like growth hormone secretagogue, but there's another word I forgot. But yeah, sorry.
That one's like just going to help produce more natural growth hormone, and HGH is just artificial growth hormone.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It sends, so MK677 can send natural impulses in our body to, I guess you could say, boost it up naturally versus, you know, growth hormone is replacing it. So that's what I was trying to say. There was just a word I couldn't remember what it was. I was like, secretagogue. There we go. It's a big ass word. All right. Do you think that there's a good, so 6 to 8 rep range, do you think that's good for muscle and strength gains?
It depends on the individual, but yeah, I think so. If you're not doing 6 to 8 reps just because you're counting 6 to 8 and you hit that number, but if you're, like, struggling to get 6 reps, then yes.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me.
That's another thing.
All right. Yeah, no, I would definitely go with that too. I mean, if you train heavy and you're in the 8, because 8 is still technically hypertrophy, assuming you're not just, like, slamming the weight extremely hard, not, you know, stimulating your muscle. But yeah, 8's still hypertrophy technically, so you should still be able to get strong and get a little bit of mass on it too. I don't see why you wouldn't. This is a good question for you because, I mean, I do them, but I'm not as good as you, in my opinion. When it comes to vacuums, how would you give someone advice on how to master the vacuum on stage, not just like a random person?
Everybody asks this. I don't know. I just do it. I don't know. I just knew how.
But did you work up to it over time? Like you sucked it in deeper over time, or like you've always been able to suck at the same. I don't, man, that sounds weird. No matter how I put it, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know. If I just think about it more, I can get it. Like I can suck it in more. But if I just kind of like if I do check-ins and I'm just doing them lazy and quick and I'm not paying attention, I'll look back and I'm not as deep, and then I'll redo them and I'll just think about it more and it's just deeper. I don't know. But I've never like had to train it. I just know how to do it. So I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, that might just be you, man. It took me a while to learn how to do it, or to like get it all the way in. You know, like I could do it, and then over time I was like, oh, okay, that's how you like have it, like, you know, like C-bump status. So like Logan Franklin, where it literally looks like they have no intestines. You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm all out of questions here. I'm sure I could come up with something I remember people ask me, but anybody who's still left in the chat, I don't even know how many people are here. It doesn't tell me. Oh, it does. There's like 10. But yeah, if you guys have any questions who are watching, feel free to drop them below. You know, I don't want to keep Josh here all night, but any question you guys got, it'd be cool to finish up with some of those. Let me think if there's any question I want to ask you specifically while I'm here. Got to think on it. Hold on. Oh, I know. Here's a simple question. What show are you planning to do? And when you do come back, are you planning to compete, you know, at a local show, obviously, and go direct with the nationals like a week or two later?
So I'm going to do, it's just a local show. It's going to be like a warm-up kind of show, like figure out peak week. Since last time we did peak week for the Arnold, we kind of missed the mark. So we're just going to do that show to warm up. And then I'm going to go to USA's, but that one's in June and USA's is in July. So I think it's a 4-week gap, not like a 2-week.
Yeah. Which
will time, like if I do miss peak, like I come in tighter for then. But yeah, I was going to compete next year in June.
Okay, no, I support. I might join you there, bro. Give me like 6 months to put on some size. Let me see what I could really do. Actually try. 9,000 calories per day. All right. Benefits of wearing a corset. So, corset and a waist trainer, they have the same idea. Like a waist trainer typically only goes to like maybe your top ab and then down. Corsets can literally go like, they can go pretty high. They can go upward towards your armpits. So I don't know. I do know some people who do wear corsets, especially the last 4 weeks out from the show. But I'd say it's more common to wear a waist trainer and then a belt over the waist trainer and like just squeeze your waist as tight as possible for 2 to 3 weeks out from a show. I'm not saying it's good. Don't do that year round. It's not good for you to have that much pressure on your core. But if your goal is to have a 25-inch waist on stage, then you got to do what you got to do. Jeremy Bonilla wears a corset. That was one of his favorite things to do. He mentioned, but I don't know. I guess that's all I got to say about that. All right. What else we got, guys or girls? I don't know who's in here, but you know, any question you guys got or topics we can rant about, I'm open to both. You still got a couple minutes left, Josh? I didn't ask you, like, did you have a time constraint? I forgot to ask you that.
I'm good. I up Selena later, but like not. I'm good.
All right, so you're good here another 3 hours? You're good?
Not 3.
Good with that? Okay, Daniel, I ignored your question 9 times for a reason. You know. All right, would you rather only compete with one arm or one leg? In classic.
Pity points.
Bro, that one guy, what's his name? Bionic Leg or something like that? I think is he pro? Yeah,
I don't know.
He's pro.
Like he's not like a traditional IFBB pro, but he's like in the handicap division pro.
Okay. Yeah, but I remember I think I saw him win a show. I was like, bro, his legs are still jacked. Like he only has like, you know, the knee up and like it still has legit lines and everything. I was like, bro, if he could have nice legs, there's no reason anybody else can't have nice legs, man. You know, I don't know. All right, guys. You know, we'll only be here a couple more minutes if we don't get any more questions. I don't want to take too much of Josh's time. I'm just going to talk shit to Josh in the meantime then. So, Josh, what would you say? Okay, I have a good question. Let's say you turn pro, you know, this upcoming year, 2021, if that's the year you're saying you want to compete. Let's say you turn pro. If you could have one pro debut show, where would you want to go? Like one show that would be like stand out to you. I know what mine would be. What would yours be?
You have to pick one, or can I say the 2 that I have in mind? I have 2.
You only get one, Josh. No,
okay.
It's fine.
I have 2 in mind, but I only do one of the 2.
No, you can pick 2. What's up?
Okay, it'd be the New York Pro or the Tampa Pro. Because I never will understand why people do pro debuts at small shows. You want to do a pro debut at a big show. You want to make a name for yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Following up with that, if you knew you weren't ready, you know, I know, because there's a difference between being pro. Not everybody walks on stage like Nick Walker with all that hype, knowing that he can hang with the big boys, you know? Like, not everybody has that. So if you felt you weren't ready, would you rather go to a smaller tier show to possibly get top 2 or win the show to go to the Olympia? Or would you rather always go straight to the New York Pro but risk getting like last place.
No,
Chicago Pro, New York Pro, like a bigger name show.
if you don't place at the big show, then you're not ready for the Olympia anyways. So just take more
No,
time.
that's true.
Yeah. So
I respect that.
yeah, you're gonna play the Olympia.
I think I would want to go back to like one local show, like somewhere in my area. Like for me, I'm near San Jose, California. I don't even know if you know that, but there's a big show called the San Jose Pro every year. It's in July, and like it's like a really big men's physique show. Not classic, but yeah, that would be the show I'd want to go because like it'd be in my area, and like everybody who knows it would be able to go. That'd be dope. But that's the only show I'd want to do. Okay, what should you expect going into your first show? What's up, Fernando? So that's one of my clients. We're getting him ready to do a show maybe 4 or 5 months from now. I'll talk about my experience first show, and then I'll let you start it off.
I don't know. Well, I'll talk more on the Arnold than my first show because my first show was kind of like I didn't even know what I was doing, and I wasn't training or dieting seriously. I wasn't taking bodybuilding seriously yet. I just did it because my friend Jose did it, and he wanted me to do it. But the mental aspect of it is going to kick your ass. You're going to have a hard time staying confident throughout the whole prep. You're going to hate the way you look every single day, but it doesn't matter every day. It only matters how you look on stage day. So that's something to expect is trying to keep that mental fortitude going through because you're not going to have much confidence. I don't know if anybody does. Even top pros that I've talked to, they don't think that way. They don't think the best of themselves. They're not usually confident their whole time, and they don't like the way they look.
Yeah. Now, I would definitely say going off of that, because I didn't really have much experience in bodybuilding. I just kind of like hired a coach, and I was like, let's go straight into it. Let's see how I do. But like, I didn't know mentally, because I trusted my coach, right? For the most part. I mean, I didn't know what to trust, what not to. But at the same time, I didn't know about, how, when you're flat, like that definition. When you're flat, guys, it's like when you're very depleted of carbs, and like you literally look sucked up. Like you look small as hell. You have no pumps, no vascularity. You look tiny. And like no one told me about that. And I was like, bro, what the hell is this guy having me do? I've had like 4 low carb days. I look like I don't lift. I'm hella like empty. And then on show day or like peak week, I started like filling back up. I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of cool. I'm starting to look better. So like, I think the best thing you can do, especially for you, obviously you're my client, so I want you to, is like put full faith into me that I know what I'm doing, and you just follow it to a T. So if anything goes wrong, you can 100% put it on me because I told you to do that. But I've met people who hire coaches, and they'll listen to them like 70%, and they'll be like, well, I listened to most of it, and then they look like shit. They're like, well, is it coach's fault? Or is it their fault? You'll never be able to know because you didn't follow it.
Don't take things in your own hands. Do exactly what
they say. So if anything happens, you can at least put the blame on them, But besides that, I'd say you're gonna have super bad anxiety and be like nervous backstage, probably, or peak week, whatever, getting ready for the show. Best thing you can do is learn how to pose now. Start learning how to pose now because you want to get a routine, master it, and yeah, it's not as important as classic posing, but still.
Keep people like because you're gonna be really, really, really thirsty. I remember I came off stage and they told me not to drink any water, eat any food yet because I got to go back on there to accept my trophy, and I wasn't even happy. I was just pissed off because I was so thirsty.
Damn, bro, I didn't care. After I got off stage for my trophy, I was like, yeah, because it doesn't affect you that fast. You'll be all right.
Oh, but like, oh, you need and stuff, and I didn't know. Like, it was my first show. Like I said, I didn't take anything that seriously, so I didn't know any better. So I'm like, well, I guess I can't drink water. I was just mad.
Did you take a prescription diuretic your first show, or did you just take like an Expel or something natural?
Expel actually is exactly what I took because I was with MHP too, so I took Expel.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Why do black people have the best bodies? I wanted to do a video on this, but everybody got like sensitive when I did some of it. So it's like every race has genetic features that stand out from other people. So I'd say for white people, they could typically put on a pretty decent amount of mass, like Ian Valier, Jay Cutler. There's just certain things that white people can get very massive. Now, black people, they may not get the biggest, but sometimes they have one of the most aesthetically pleasing physiques. Their muscle bellies and like inserts are really nice. Mexican people may be a little bit shorter, like Hispanics, but they have insane fullness. Like every Asian people, amazing in classic, amazing in men's physique because they get so shredded. Like every race has something special about them, You're on the huge white guy category, Josh. That's you. You get massive. That's you. All right. Can I bust a nut every day, or does that mess up my test because of food aid? I mean, I don't think I would do it every day. Like first off, that's a habit that you don't want to have.
Yeah, That's unhealthy at that point.
Yeah, it's a bit much, bro. But I would definitely like one to two times per week. You should be all right, but never do it before training, and never do it before like a sport or something, because like you need that testosterone, and it takes a while for it to come back. So I guess that's all I'd say. Yeah, when we choose a show, 100%, I'll help you with the closing, obviously, because that's that's what you paid me for. I got you. What is the best genetic for Moroccans? What's a Moroccan, Josh? What does a Moroccan look like?
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, man. I have to go to like I mean, thoughts on Chris Bumstead's stretch marks?
We all have stretch marks. It don't matter. What is his different?
I think it's 'cause he grew a lot this season though. In like his arms and like you could tell his pecs and like delts, everything you could tell they grew. So it's just a sign that you grew too fast for what your body's meant to. That's usually
I don't know anybody that doesn't have them. That's like large. Like right here, mine extends all the way down the middle of my bicep, all the way through here and all the way down. Like on both sides. It's just everybody has them. I don't think that anybody cares.
But you're natural though, so it's different.
Yeah.
I'm actually vegan. All right. Okay. We'll answer these last couple of questions, guys. Maybe we'll only be here for a couple more minutes. Okay, bro. Is there a time where I was doing 3 times a day? Okay, Jesus Christ. You got problems, Taryn. Okay, you don't need to be doing that to yourself 3 to 5 times per day. That's an addiction.
Taryn tells me anyway.
Oh my God, man. Mediterranean. I don't know, man. I don't know all races. I can't pick out like I can't come to mind like who's a Mediterranean bodybuilder that I'd be able to reference it. I don't know.
Yeah, an example.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little easier to be like he's black, white, Hispanic. Like sometimes it's a bit easier to generalize it than like be very specific.
Middle East have crazy detail, so
yeah, Middle Easterns do get very, very dry and crazy detail. Josh, when you're stepping on stage, bro, you're getting massive.
June.
Yeah, June.
I'm only 250 pounds, so if I cut right now, I'm going to be close to like 220, and that's 10 pounds underweight.
Oh, I had a question for you. I don't know what your coach's style is. Do you carb cycle, or do you keep, start at 2,500, 2 weeks later, 2,400, 2,300? Do you do like a set amount of macros every day, or do you carb cycle like high, medium, low, low? Or do you ever do both, or what do you do?
In general.
Wow.
It just stays like the same, but like when we were cutting, it was like just low carb refeed kind of thing. And then off season, it's just I eat the same thing every day. It doesn't change unless it hasn't needed to.
Yeah, I've tried both. Sometimes I do like carb cycling, but I do see the benefit sometimes of having like some of my favorites is like high, medium, and then like 5 low days in a row. Sometimes that works, but a lot of bodybuilders don't have kids because they're oh my God, bro. Okay, well, I'll answer this in a polite way. But pretty much all sports, there are people using anabolics. So that would mean that football, baseball, track wouldn't have kids, and that's not true at all. It's not how it works. If anything, it gets bigger, but that's unrelated. But
I didn't even read that.
Oh, he said that the bodybuilders not have kids because their dick doesn't work.
I know plenty of bodybuilders that have kids.
Yeah, most bodybuilders have kids. Okay, what best genetic part for someone that was born in LA but moved to Texas? Probably their clout game. Yeah. My brother's straight. He has a girlfriend, yes. Is there a specific amount of protein the body can process at a specific time? Being said, can body process 30 grams of protein at a time? But yeah, that's my question.
Individual again. I don't know.
Yeah, it goes by size of like your frame. So let's say he's 250 pounds. There's no way his body's not gonna be able to easily digest 50 to 60 grams of protein. However, if someone is like 140 pounds, then yeah, you don't need to be giving them 60 grams of protein per meal. There's no way they're gonna absorb that. And at the same time, like women, you could cut that in half. So for most women, they can handle 20 to 40, 20 to 35 grams of protein per meal. Men can handle upwards of like 45 to 50. Yeah, that's kind of sus, bro.
I thought Cody was the cute brother.
we got different dads, bro. How to bulk and lose fat? No.
No.
All right, guys, get your final questions in, and we're gonna head out. Appreciate the hearts. We love hearts.
Victory, yes. Bulking and losing fat. You can't do that at the same time. Bulking is gaining fat.
What does the button do? Oh wait, you could answer questions here. My bad. Oh, I didn't even know you could ask separate questions. But all right, people on cycle, do they still have to go on bulks, or do they maintain easily? Okay, I get what they're trying to say. If you're a gear user, do you still need to like bulk? I think they're trying to say like, even though you're on cycle, can you just continue to grow? I think they're trying to say, can you main gain because you're on cycle? I think that's what they're trying to ask with the question.
You're still going to want a bulk to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
Like you're probably nutrients a lot more. So put in more nutrients to process.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I don't know why you would. Just because you're on, if anything, you're on cycle, you're either going to cut really hard and take advantage of it and hold on to size, or you're going to bulk to try and process food better and grow. So I don't know why you'd maintain while on gear, you know? It wouldn't make any sense. Doing cardio today? No, I'm probably going to hit some legs, go to sleep. Getting kind of late. I'll do cardio twice tomorrow, though. If you bulk on trend, will you look leaner? Yeah, because trend can excrete some of your excess water weight, and it can make you look harder. However, it raises your blood pressure very, very high. And the last thing you want to do is mix that with all these other things. So I would never bulk on trend personally.
Hey, Selena's in here. This question's gonna be for you.
Okay. Oh, isn't that your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay. If you were a coach, what if a woman wanted to take gear? It depends. So I don't condone women taking gear. However, if a girl comes to me and she said, I want to win an overall, and like I felt that it could make her 5 to 10% better if she took maybe some like an estrogen blocker for 2 weeks to like dry her out, then maybe. But the first thing that we would ever do, like just have her be like in the plan, you're taking VAR, Winstrol, Proviron, like I would never do that. But at the same time, if I'm her coach and she's going to do it anyway, it would still be my job to advise her on the proper way to do it, if that makes sense. So it's like you would never want her to do it on her own, but you also don't want her to do it. I don't know if that makes sense. So if she was dead set on doing it and she was going to do it whether I told her not to, then I would help her guide her. I would help guide her, yes. But I would never suggest anything more than like Anavar or maybe like some Arimidex estrogen blocker. Both of those could change your physique drastically as a woman. You don't need Winstrol, you don't need Primo, you don't need anything else. So that's all I want to say. You know what works really well? You know, like natural testosterone boosters, Josh? You know, like the ones that are kind of like bullshit for, you know, men? So when a woman takes that and they get like a boost in natural testosterone, they actually get harder. I've seen women take like 30 and 60 days of natural test booster and it actually worked really well. It lowered their estrogen. I don't eat fast food, but if I did, it'd probably be like Chick-fil-A once a month.
Oh, I love Taco Bell. I don't eat it very often, but
Taco Bell?
And
damn, I don't remember what Taco Bell tastes like. Is it good? Damn. Out of all fast food, that's your favorite?
For where I live, yeah. But Chick-fil-A is definitely my no. Or Chipotle is pretty good. Is that considered fast food? I'm not sure, but
Chipotle's in the middle. It's definitely in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I had one final question that I want to end off on that. Just kind of branching off of Selena's question. So, being that she is your girlfriend, and does she still actively compete or no?
She just did a show. Was it June? She did a show in June. I don't remember.
But I meant like she still plans to compete in the future.
Yeah, so she's gonna go to the course. We don't know if she's gonna be leaving January or April, but if she leaves in April, she's gonna do a show in March, and Terrence coaches her too.
Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. So if she wanted to use gear, regardless of your coach said yes or no, and would you support her decision to do so?
Well, yeah, I'm not her boss. If she wants to do it, she's already done it.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I was gonna say, what if she started getting some very masculine effects, and all that? Would you still support it?
Well, yeah, unless she turns into Iris Kyle.
All right, we will end up on that. All right, thanks guys for watching. For those of you who are still watching, I'm gonna post this so you can rewatch whatever you missed. Thank you, Josh. If you guys don't follow Josh, go follow him. He's gonna start talking on camera, giving us great information on his prep. I know it. He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, I don't have a choice.
And yeah, either way, let me bring this down. And either way, I just want to say thanks, Josh. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, thanks.
Whenever you have a podcast, I'll happily want to hop on. Watch yours too. So yeah.
Sweet. I'll let you know.
All right, bro. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
Later, everybody.